Welcome back, True Seeker. September 13th, 2018. In the headlines this evening, former President Barack Obama campaigning for Ohio politicians Rich Cordray and Betty Sutton. I want to show you why Obama's in Cleveland on September 13th, 2018, doing what he's doing. Understand, our entire government that is federal, including governors, they are puppets on strings. They are participating in activities they get carried in the media that are essentially numerical rituals. And today, September 13th, 2018, it's a date with 33 numerology, big number in Cleveland and to the federal government. Cleveland in the language of Gematria sums to 33. So does federal, so does masonry, so does secrecy, so does order. This language very important to Freemasonry. They have their headquarters in D.C., the House of the Temple that has 33 pillars on the outside, each 33 feet tall. Another big headline this evening is these mysterious explosions in Massachusetts. It's news by the numbers. I haven't even done that much investigation, but no doubt on this date with a life lesson number of 33, Massachusetts having these rare explosions. Massachusetts, a 33 state. Kennedys are from there. Kennedy 33. Don't forget JFK killed on 11/22 in the middle of Dealey Plaza, named after a Freemason. Also consider today September 13th. 13/9, like 139. Freemasonry sums to 139. So does America, a nation founded by Freemasons. So he's stumping for these people. Richard Cordray, who is 59 years old and born in the year 59. Remember, Freemasonry sums to 59 in Hebrew and in English. And just in case you're new here, Gematria.com, great website. Makes this research really easy. You type in one word and it'll give you all four of the base outputs. Freemasonry. 59 in the base ciphers, Hebrew and English. And all of these numbers very much relevant. We already talked about the 139. But this man, 59 years old, born in 59, and from his birthday, May 3rd, to today, September 13th, is 133 days later. What a perfect day to have the President of the United States stumping for you. In Gematria, White House equals 133, President 133, Government 133. They couldn't line this up any better. Look at the name Cordray in the four base ciphers, as well as the word Masonry. You have overlap with 84, overlap with 105, and overlap with 39. Cordray also sums to 42 like Freemason. Masonry's 33. If you take into account the S exception, where S is worth 10, S is the only letter you have to reduce two times. S is the 19th letter. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So S can be 10 or 1. If you make S 10, Masonry is also 42. As for Betty Sutton, she's 55 years old, like how old Obama was when he exited office. From her birthday to today is 44 days, and Obama was number 44, elected 44 years after the Civil Rights Act. African American has the Gematria 44 in the septenary cipher. MLK killed on 4-4. Malcolm X killed on a date with 44 numerology. His assassin, Thomas Hagen equals 44, got 44 years in prison. And just in case you are new here, Barack Hussein Obama, I want you to see this name. This cipher right here out of the four base ciphers, the dark blue one, it's the most important. Notice it equals 64. Civil rights 64, like the Civil Rights Act in 64. Obama, the first African American president, elected 44 years later as number 44. He ran on hope. Hope with the alphabetic order is 44. Hope with the reverse alphabetic order is 64. You know, they call him Barry. Barry with the alphabetic order 64. So you learn this code of Gematria, and you can see through every single news headline why what is in the news that day. There's probably been a lot more news stories today, but today I've been in the dentist office all day. My girlfriend had some killer tooth pain, and it turned out she needed a root canal and a crown, so very expensive day. We don't have dental insurance, so costed a real fortune, but thanks to the book selling lately, able to cover it all, so thank you everyone who's picked up the book. Speaking of the book, if you have read it and you've enjoyed it, I really appreciate everyone who leaves a review. Today, Megan left this review. She wrote, "The best $5 I ever spent." For the record, my book's 773 pages and $5. You know, it's hard to spend $5 in any better way. You'll get so much out of this book. But she wrote, "I was skeptical. I educated myself. I am no longer skeptical. Either we are being manipulated or Zach found the core language of everything. Either way, everyone needs to be aware of the patterns." And this is what she's talking about. You know, some people swear this code is all organic and just all of this stuff is just working itself out naturally. Now, I acknowledge in my book that there is an organic side to this code. Absolutely, and a lot of us are living proof of that. But what we see in the media, it is manipulation by the numbers, you know. Every single day. You know, things don't line up perfectly like this every single day the way they do in the media. And, you know, stories like Marquise McLaughlin, recent story from the media, the Stand Your Ground shooting in Florida, with the bizarre spelling of Marquise, Markeis, and then McGlockton. Glock's a type of gun. And he was shot on Gaston Glock's birthday, the man who's responsible for the Glock gun company. That kind of stuff's mocking. The way they spelled Marquise McLaughlin has the same gematria as Stand Your Ground in 2 of the 4 base ciphers. You know, that's how you know that the people who create this media, you know, they're abusing this knowledge. This knowledge, again, in case you're new here, if you've never seen one of my videos, you just stumbled on this somehow. There's this thing out there called Kabbalah. It has a core belief that God created the world by merging the letter with the number. And as silly as that might sound, when you study this relationship of letters and numbers and look at your own name and your birthday and your parents and your siblings and your loved one, your spouse, your children, you might start going, what in the world is going on? Because you might find that, you know, everyone in your family has the same numbers. So there's absolutely an organic side, which again, I acknowledge in the book. But the main reason I wrote the book is so people can see how the powers that shouldn't be, who control our media, who control our government, how they do everything by numerical ritual. And, you know, stumping for candidates by the numbers, it's not really that big of a deal. You know, this isn't like, oh my God, what an atrocity. But when you realize that, you know, they're creating stories of, you know, stories that are meant to instill division and hate and fear, these are the problematic things. And that's what I expose in the book. But again, if you know this code, you can just see through what's being done every single day, because this is truly how it's done every single day. You know, that's why I've been able to sit here for 5 years straight, turn on my computer, look at what's in the news, and go, oh, look. Oh, look what they did today. Oh, look what they did today. Like, I literally just got here and turned on CNN, and I saw that the top headline was Obama was stumping for these people. So I said, oh, let's see how this ritual's going. And, you know, it only took seconds to see, you know. Just measure from the birthday. Oh, bam, 133 days. Maybe if you're new here, you don't recognize what 133 is. But, you know, you study the code for a little bit, you're like, oh, that's a big number in Washington, D.C. You know? That's a big one. And, you know, if you would have measured from her birthday to today, you'd probably recognize right away, oh, 44 days, Obama number 44. Oh, yeah, he ran on Hope 44, African-American 44, 44 years after the Civil Rights Act. So anyway, if you have not read the book, it really is probably the best $5 you can ever spend. Thank you for everyone buying. You know, you've really helped me out in recent weeks, months. Tell you what, if the book hadn't sold and I had to pay for all that I had today, I'd be devastated right now because it cost a whole lot for the root canal and the crown. So all the book sales are carrying us through. Thank you so much, truth seekers. Until next time.